Hi everyone, I'm back. I'm Samantha and this is video 191 of 365. I originally started this channel to kind of get more comfortable on the camera and get through some social anxiety I was experiencing. And so through practice and showing up consistently every day for 191 days now has really helped. So thank you all for being here. If you're new here, I love to talk about manifestation, self-concept. I'm a therapist, so I've been practicing therapy for almost 12 years. And so I kind of have a different take on some things, and I'm an entrepreneur as well, so I love to talk about business ideas and visions and everything to increase you, basically. So I have decided that in each video, my intention is going to be to increase you in some way by the end of the video. And I've been studying the science of getting rich more and more, and that's one of the things that it states in that book is that we want to increase everyone, give value to everyone, and that will in turn, of course, come right back to us when we do that. And I thought about how when we're in, it does talk about this in the book a little bit, of course, but when we're in a job we don't like, or we're even in a relationship we don't like, do everything with excellence. That came to my mind, like do everything with excellence. No matter where you are, do the best job you can do. Like, it does not matter how big or small this job is. You want to have the mindset of, I'm doing this job to the best of my ability, acting like I'm performing for a TV show, like you're on camera and you're going to be, analyzed at the end. This is about growing you. This isn't about anybody else. This is about growing you. This is about adding to you as a person. And it's not about the goal that we get to at the end. It's who we become in the process. And that took me a lot of years to learn. And I'm in my, I'm about to be 43. I won't even say early 30s. I'll just say I'm about to be 43 years old. And I've learned so much throughout the years about business, but I learned about myself too. But it really is about learning about how you handle situations. And especially like when we're in a situation we don't like and we're complaining about it, or we're not doing something to get out of it or change our mindset at all about it, it just spirals out of control a lot of the time. So I got a comment from a subscriber as well who was basically saying they felt an identity shift happen within them. But within a few days, it was like they felt like they kind of lost it again. And not lost their mind or anything, but just like, lost the space that they were in. And so I was watching the podcast, The Diary of CEO today, a little clip with Kevin O'Leary on there from Shark Tank. He's funny. And so I was watching him and he was talking about how he used to work with Steve Jobs or work for Steve Jobs. I think it was working for him. And how Steve Jobs was just this total jerk and, didn't care about anybody. He was just like super focused on, I'm making money. Like, if you want to make money, come with me. If you don't, you're going to care about what everybody else thinks and all this stuff. And he basically called it, you're focused on your signal or the noise. And I have always talked about, especially for the last couple of years, about how everything around us is noise. It's distraction. It's static. It's just all around us, no matter what, it's there. And so basically the 80-20 rule came into it. It was like 80% on your signal, 20% on the noise. That's how the focus should be, because noise is going to come every now and again. That's like your 20%. But then 80% is going to be focused on your signal. And I look at that as, I interpret it as, in my own way, that your signal is your vision. So we got to be focused on the vision 80% of the time, instead of, we're probably focused on the noise 80% of the time and the vision 20% of the time, maybe the noise 90% of the time. So the noise to me is all the distractions. It's all of the old stories that are going on inside of our heads. It's the old self coming back. When we've like graduated to the new self, we're like, yeah, I'm new self. I'm self 2.0 today. And then we go back to complaining, blaming, thinking about things that have happened to us yesterday, thinking about things that happened to us 20 years ago, doubting ourselves, the self-talk. Oh, I look like crap today, or oh, my hair looks like crap today, or oh, I feel bad today, or oh, I'm so tired today. The things that we say, these things, and I was talking to a client about this today, I'm like, these things are true right now to you, and they're valid. I'm not saying that these feelings are not valid. You always want to see and examine what you're feeling. You never want to suppress your feelings because they will come out in some form, especially physically. So there's a reason why they're there. They're there to guide you. They're not there to be to dwell in or wallow in. We don't want to do that because that's whenever we get into the more victim mindset, scarcity mindset. And I hate saying victim mindset, but that's the only thing I can come up with right now versus like, scarcity mindset would be more like it. So, and we get to decide which mindset we're in, and so we have to remember that there's a lot of noise going on, and that noise is what takes us back to the old self. The noise is what keeps us off our vision. The noise can be anything that you deem as noise, basically. To me, like I said, it's like there's excuses. You want to mine yourself like you're mining for gold. And that gold that you're going to pull out is these old beliefs that you've got swimming around in there. And you're going to examine them. Like, where did this even come from? Why do I think like this? Like, why do I think this way? Why am I self-sabotaging myself? Like, it's stuff like that. It's excuses. I know we don't like to hear the word excuse, but we all make excuses for a lot of things. Now, I'm a therapist, obviously, so I am very gentle with people, and I need to be gentle sometimes, and then I need to be firm sometimes. So you got to poke the bear and then pull back a little bit. Poke the bear, pull back a little bit. It's a dance. It's a dance to get people to see where their thinking has gotten them. And then the light at the end of the tunnel. If you start to think like this, what would this look like in the end? If we switched this belief around, what would happen at the end of this? What would that look like for you? And so it's just a matter of switching your perception, switching your perspective, taking your awareness off of where you're at right now and placing it again on your preference. What do I prefer to feel? What do I prefer to believe? Because everything you're believing right now, you don't have to continue to believe. That's another thing. I think people think that they're stuck with who they are or what they believe or what they feel. They're like, this is just how it is. And it's like, no. We can reprogram all of this. And that's the beauty of all of this. It's so empowering to know that it's just you against you. And it's you that only has to convince you. That's it. And so as you start practicing a new way of thinking, that old self will slowly die. And eventually, you're not going to have the old self pop up too much. Every now and again, you're going to be reminded of certain things, but it's not going to have that like chokehold on you anymore. It's not going to give you that same emotional charge that you had before. It's almost going to feel like, so what? Who cares? Isn't that a great place to be when you can say, so what? Like when you're not attached to anything to make you feel a certain way. That is true freedom right there. And it takes some practice, and it takes letting go of pride and ego. And we get to decide when we do that. Because those excuses pop up like, man, this happened to me and this is why I'm this way. I did that too. Every now and again that pops up like, aren't I justified for feeling this way? Of course, we all are justified. And then at some point I had to say, justification is noise. That's part of this noise going on in the background. So am I going to be this CEO of my company, or am I going to continue to tell the old story? And so it depends on what a person wants. If you want something, you got to decide, okay, what noise do I need to let go of? The noise is the limiting thoughts, the limiting beliefs about self, the limited potential that you think you have. You are unlimited. And each video I do every day, I want to increase your belief in yourself. And I thought about that today the last few days, I've been thinking, golly, I really want to restructure my my videos and make them a little bit more concise with an actionable something to give you at the end. And so the practice today, I think I've said this a million times, but I guess the main practice I would suggest is ask yourself, what is the noise in my life? And then you want to thank the noise. Say thank you for protecting me, because these things that pop up, they're there for a reason. They're there to show you more of who you're being. And if they didn't show up and trigger you in some way, then you wouldn't know that it was even lying dormant in you and able to be conjured out of you. Like, we've got to be aware of how we're feeling and what we're thinking about. And you got to process those emotions, like let them flow through your body, Remember, we're supposed to feel an emotion for about 15 seconds. It's like a real emotion. And then after that, it turns into judgment. I thought that was so interesting. So think about, like, is this anger? Or is this like, I'm judging myself or someone else? We got to get real. I know the words like victim and like excuses, and those really trigger people when you say the word victim or you're making an excuse. Whoa, that triggers like so many people because that makes you feel like you're not heard. And so I understand that completely. But you got to start hearing yourself. Like, you've got to start knowing that you have the power to change your entire life if you let go of everything outside of you. And I'm going to help you learn how to do that throughout these however many videos. I mean, we have got a lot of videos left. So it's about learning, who are you and what do you want to become? Because you can think about all the things you want, but what's the why underneath those things? Like, who are you going to become in the process? I'm excited to become the CEO of my companies. I've got tons of ideas that have been sitting there dormant for 10, 20 years. And I'm finally taking control. Not that I haven't been doing anything the past few years. Hello, like, I've done a lot. But I've got a bigger calling, and which means I'm going to have to change dramatically in certain areas. And I have a problem with distraction as well. So I'm working on that right along with you. But I've been working on the noise for a long time. Like, all this year was getting rid of noise. That's what I've dedicated this whole year to. And so next year is going to be about building. So I really encourage you to figure out, what is the noise in my life? Maybe write this stuff down. Like, what is noise? You know, again, it's blaming, complaining. It's the internal stuff you're thinking that's like limiting beliefs. Blaming, complaining, watch out for those two things. Those are really big. Those are draining your energy big time. Even though they're valid, even though, yes, this person is being this way, it's valid. I get it. But it's holding you back. Like, think about all the noise is holding you back, whatever that is. It could be just what you're aware of. Like, this person is acting this way, so I'm aware of that. Well, remember that the world is a mirror. So everything is mirroring your own. It's not like a one-to-one mirror, of course, but it's like it's mirroring your expectations, your assumptions about yourself or the world or other people or a situation. It's all about your beliefs, perceptions, assumptions, all of that. And so it's such a, like, I feel it's the best teaching tool because it's just energy teaching you about you. That's it. Blob of energy. Remember the blob of energy sitting there teaching you something. Everything is your teacher. So it's teaching you about you. And the more you know about you and the more beliefs you're aware of that are not serving you, you can shift them, which helps to shift your identity, which increases you. We want to increase. We want abundance. There's no need to think in scarcity anymore. This world is full of the opposite of that. We don't even need to go into all that. There's a lot going on. We've got to start training our minds to see the unseen and trust in the unseen, trust in the invisible, because when we trust in that and we stay in that energy and stay vision focused, that unseen will start to become seen. We just have to trust that we are that powerful. And no one wants us to know this. This is why I love talking about this, because we've got to shift our mindsets. I've talked with a lot of people who do not want to get out of that mindset, or they just feel like they can't, or they'll try it for 2 days and then they'll give up. Keep going, keep persisting, keep deciding who you are. Do not let the world decide who you are. Decide who you are. The people around you that are telling you who you are, that's noise. Any negative thought or anything that's said is noise. But examine the noise. Why is the noise there? And why am I holding on to this noise? And what noise do I need to let go of? So look at all of that. And I hope this video increased you. That is my intention after every video. I want you to feel like you've gotten some value. You're a little bit bigger than you were whenever you turn this video on. That's what I want for you. And we're all in this together. We're all in this together. So I love you guys. I hope you're doing well. And if this helped you in any way, let me know, and comment below. Let me know what you guys need to hear or want to hear from me. I can definitely do more videos if you request them. Just keep them coming. I appreciate you guys so much. Remember to appreciate yourself, because what appreciates, or what you appreciate, appreciates. So appreciate yourself. And you are so loved. Pass that on to somebody who might need to hear that today. And I will be back tomorrow. Bye.